Alright, don't mind me, I'm just playing some Halo. Just playing the Master Chief Collection, just came out 3 months ago. Sure is broken, but I'm having just some fun on it. Sometimes, every now and then I play, but... What's this? I'm playing with a mouse and keyboard. That's odd, you shouldn't be able to do that. Is it cheating? Who knows? But I will explain to you how you'll be able to use your mouse and keyboard playing Halo and just about any other Xbox game using this device right here, XIM4. Alright, so let's start off with what the XIM4 actually is. So what it does is that it allows you to play with your mouse and keyboard on an Xbox One console. So, yep, that's it. That's what it does. Use your favorite mouse and keyboard, or, well, there are limitations to what mouse and keyboards you can use, but you could visit their website for a full list of what's compatible with it. But mostly, anything is compatible with the XIM4. Usually. There's rarely any problems. It's a really good device. So, yeah, so that's what it does. You could use your favorite mouse and keyboard, whatever you're playing with, hook it up to the XIM4, hook an Xbox controller to it, and just start using your mouse and keyboard while playing on the Xbox. How that's possible is that it actually takes in the mouse and keyboard inputs. So it takes in those inputs, translates them into controller inputs. So pretty much all the Xbox is actually seeing, it's actually seeing Xbox controller inputs. It's not actually seeing mouse and keyboard inputs. That's the trick of it. So, you know, it doesn't actually count as cheating. It still counts as the Xbox still reads it as an Xbox controller. It's not reading it as anything else. So that's why they've been able to not get any flack from Microsoft for being counted as a cheating device. It doesn't do anything out of the norm. I mean, it just allows you to use your mouse and keyboard. That's it. Done. So how you actually connect this thing up is that you get your mouse and keyboard. So, mouse and keyboard uses the USB. So right here would be your mouse, and over here would be your keyboard. So you'd plug those two into the XIM4 right here. Then you plug in your Xbox controller right here. And take in mind, this is compatible with the Xbox One and Xbox 360. So, you could use both those systems if you still want to play on the Xbox 360 every now and then. So you plug in your Xbox controller here, and then, so what it does, takes in the two keyboard and mouse inputs, translates them into an Xbox input, and then sends it out through this cable right here, and you connect this cable to your Xbox One or Xbox 360. It's a USB cable there. So you connect that to your Xbox, and it reads it as an Xbox controller. Except what it's reading in is just really fine-tuned controls that are very specific, but they still count as an Xbox input. They're just really fine-tuned. So, yep, that's what it does, and that's how you pretty much connect it. Now, there is software that comes with it to use. So, to connect to this device, to set up all your profiles and all that, and the settings, you either use an Android phone, or I believe it's on iOS too, or you could also just use a computer itself that has Bluetooth enabled. So what you do is that you pretty much just program how you want your game input to function on your phone or just on the computer, and you could download the software from Google Play Store or off their website if you're going to be using the PC. And actually, I'll go into that right now, the software. Alright, so now I'll be going over the app, for the Android app for the XIM4. So it looks like this right here. This is called the XIM4 Manager. So let's just open that up. And it looks like there's an update available. So there's specific profiles made for these games, and every time they make a new game comes out, they have to make a specific profile for it. So you could get that precise accuracy. So every now and then you're going to get an update. So we're just going to download the update. I guess that update is for Dying Light. So now you're going to be able to play Dying Light efficiently with your mouse and keyboard, which is great. So download complete. So now that we're in the app, it's going to take a bit to load. And here we are. So right now I have it set for Halo CE Anniversary right here. But let's see, where to begin? We'll begin with this little menu right here. So we're going to have load, new, globals, manage, and about. So I guess with load, you just, we just click on that, and there's all your games right here, your, favorite games. I think you could save up to 16 games. And these are all just specific profiles. Like right here I have Halo CE, Halo 2, Halo 2 Anniversary, all those games. Because every game needs its specific profile for it to work correctly. So every time you're going to play a different game, you're going to have to select that profile to get all those settings loaded into the XIM4 so it plays correctly. If you don't use the correct profile, you're not going to get the best aiming available, for that game. It's going to seem a bit off and wonky. So you really want to make sure you're using the correct profile. Let's go back. So back to the menu. So let's go to new. So new is where you actually find every single game that's been released on the Xbox One, or every single game that's been that has a profile developed for it. So if you wanted to make a new profile, you'd come here, select a game, and it will save a new profile for that game pretty much. And then, like you saw earlier, when a new game comes out, the developer for the device is going to take at least maybe less than a week to make a new profile for that game, and you should be able to download it within the week. So back. Next up is globals. So globals, never really used this before, but it's just to control like your device. I mean, you could have you could assign hotkeys to it, or you could disable the lights on it, because you saw that the XIM4 it glowed like red, so I could disable that right there. There we go. But I like it glowing red. And you can also force to download the game's library if the app isn't downloading them for some odd reason. But usually it automatically downloads every now and then. Go back, save changes, yes. And then manage. So right here you just control what order these all your profiles are in. So yeah, so I could take Halo C and I could just bump it down if I wanted to. But I like to keep things in order. And you could also delete profiles, like let's say I don't want to delete any of these profiles because I kind of use them all. Changes, yes. There we go. And then and about, that just tells you about the device, what version you are on and what firmware you're using. So let's get into the actual settings. So right now I have Halo CE playing, and let me switch it over. Yeah, so there's my mouse right there, the game, and yeah, so everything's working right there. Good. So in the top left corner right here, this is where you could edit the individual settings in the profile. So right here is, let's go to advanced. So this is the mouse settings right here. So right now I have it set to 1:1. Pretty much this is the line right here. This is like a little line curve. You can mess around with it. I don't really mess around with it because I like to keep things exactly 1:1. And then, here's the XY ratio right here. So, I just keep it set to 1 because I want that 1:1 ratio to make everything, smooth and all that. Some games you might want to edit it because some games natively will not have a 1:1 ratio, but most games usually have a 1:1 ratio when you're aiming. Boost, that smooths things out a bit, but it will decrease the sensitivity. So usually I like to keep it a little bit below the sensitivity. So right now I have the sensitivity towards 26, and I have my boost towards 20. And then right here, these are translators for hip firing and aiming down the sight firing. I kind of like using the aiming down the sight translator for Halo. It's just a bit more responsive for me, but that's up to the user, I guess. So next is the keyboard. This is your movement. Let's see, you won't be able to control whether or not you're moving at 100% speed, 90% speed, 80% speed, because usually with the analog stick there's a range of motion where you could control all that. But on the PC side of things, and also when you're using mouse and keyboard, you're either going at 100% speed or maybe if there's a walk function, you could go like at 50% speed, which it does have a walk function right here, but usually I'm always moving at 100% speed, so I don't use that. And you could go into more advanced things. If you're using a gamepad that does have an analog stick built into it, you can use that. I mean, I know Razer has a couple gamepads that have not only keys on them, but it also has a analog stick, so that's you could use that too if you want, so you can still keep that full range of motion. But if you don't have that, then you're just stuck with using 100% speed when you're walking around or something. So next, also there's joystick support if you're using a joystick with a certain game. So if you wanted to, you could play Halo with the joystick, but I wouldn't really recommend that. And then here are all your buttons. So from here you could assign anything you want. For example, if I wanted to, let's see, I have my left mouse button as fire. So if I have my mouse right here, so I press that. And as you can see, I'm shooting, no problem. Now let's say I wanted to change that to space. Let's see. So you would just click on it pretty much, or just press down on it, and then it's going to say listening. So pretty much right now it's just listening for a keyboard key. So I'm just going to press space right here since my keyboard is listening. And as you see, it changed to space. So now when I go right here and I press space, I'm now shooting. But I also had space as crouch, so now I'm shooting and crouching at the same time. And we don't want that to happen, so I'm going to change it back to left click for fire. So I'm just going to press down right there. Now it's listening, and I get my mouse, and I just click on it, and now it's to the mouse. Simple as that. Really easy. And so usually they're going to tell you to use the default controls for the game, because that's usually how they have it laid out. So right here it says right trigger. Of course, that's what you use to shoot typically in most configurations for Halo. And yeah, so don't use bumper jumper or anything like that when you're configuring for your XIM4, because they go by the default configuration. So let's say like change weapons, they have that as Y. The default configuration for Halo, usually Y is set for changing your weapon. So you're going to want to keep it the same. You want to keep the default configuration, because that's how the actual program is going to read all the controls here. So if you're using like bumper jump or something like that, then Y might be like, I forgot, it might be like a jump or something. So it's not going to be accurate on the actual program or the app. So you just stick to using the default and you should be fine finding all your controls. Yeah. And then also you could have a secondary set of controls. Like for example, I know on PC you use your mouse wheel to change weapons. So for Y I have it as scroll up. So if I scroll up, well actually I don't have any weapons right now, so let me go get a weapon in Halo real quickly. Right, so I picked up a sniper rifle right here. So if I just use scroll up, it changes. Simple, right? So another neat thing is, because I'm on the primary control scheme right now, I could go to a secondary control scheme, and then there's Y right here again, and I actually have that as scroll down. So I could press pretty much two buttons to do the same function. So back to the screen right here, I could do scroll down to change weapons, or I could do scroll up. So I could pretty much make it more like, the PC version as much as I want there. Keep in mind, some games don't really work with that, with certain control schemes. So you're really gonna have to play around with a few things to see what fits best for you. Like I know in Halo 2 they have dual wielding, and I kind of had some issues with using that method of changing weapons with the scroll up and scroll down. Actually, because you actually use Y to dual wield or pick up dual wielded weapons in Halo 2. So, there are some caveats to using different schemes. So you're going to have to make some trade-offs. And if you want to save your your unique profile right here, you just go up right here to this little floppy disk looking icon, and right there, and you saved it. And that's pretty much all. That's pretty much how you use the software. It's pretty easy to use. It's self-explanatory, and yeah, that's it. And next, I'll just show some gameplay of how accurate you can be with using the XIM4. And let's get to the gameplay. Alright, so here's the gameplay. I'm just going to be showcasing some Halo CE gameplay. So as you can see here, I'm using the sniper. I'm just doing some quick aiming practice here. Nothing really too special, just shooting between different points on this little icon right here. So, anyways, there's really not much to say. You could just view the game, just look at it and just see for yourself how well you think I'm aiming, or how well, how precise my shots are compared to, when using a controller here. So I guess next up, I'll be looking just far away. I'm looking pretty much at the other base right here, and I'm just, just moving my reticule along, trying to show some micro movements, because usually, if you want to do micro movements on the controller, you really have to use the walking analog stick for movement. Because using the aiming analog stick on Halo for micro movements like I'm doing now is pretty hard to do. You can't really do it. You're either just going max speed with your aiming analog stick and just going all over the place hoping to get a hit. But as you can see right here, I'm doing this small little circle. I'm just slowly getting bigger and bigger till I match the red circle right there all the way, and then I'm going trying to go bigger, but I couldn't really go bigger because I need a layout just to see how well everything's moving. But yeah, so you can see how now I'm getting smaller and smaller. Now I'm right towards the middle again, and see how small I could get that circle. And now I'm going to trace pretty much just the outline of this little Forerunner icon right here. And I'm doing a pretty good job. Don't expect to do that with the analog stick, right? What I'm doing right now at that speed. It's just near impossible to do. Yeah, so I'm just neatly tracing along the line right there. And yeah, it's just very easy to make micro movements with the mouse. It was just amazing. Let's see. And that's pretty much it. Now I'll probably switch over to Halo 2 and show you how Halo 2 works. One moment. Alright, so now here I am playing Halo 2. So there's Halo 2 right here. But I have it set towards Halo CE Anniversary, so I'm just going to have to change that real quickly. So again, to change, really simple. All you have to do is just go to this little menu right here. Go to load, select Halo 2. I'm playing Halo 2 Classic, so I'm going to select that. There, now I'm on Halo 2 Classic, so now my aiming should be overall more smoother, since I'm using the correct profile. So now I'll just switch back to viewing the actual gameplay now. Let's see. There. Alright, so now I'll switch back to the AverMedia capture. Alright, so here I am playing some Halo 2 with the XIM4. Yeah, it's pretty much the same as Halo CE, except I'm using a different profile, so things are a bit more smoother. So again, here's just me aiming with the XIM4. Really not all too different. Again, I can make the same really small micro movements with the mouse here. You do really small movements. And here's a circle test. So don't expect to make that small of a circle with the analog stick. There I am, getting bigger, slowly bigger. And smaller again. I'm just going to trace these wires here. Pretty easy to trace those wires. So I guess next up I'll show some multiplayer gameplay of me just sniping and, you know, just shooting at people. Keep in mind though, I'm not really playing against the best of people. The quality of players on MCC right now is just atrocious. But I'll just show you what it can do.
Killjoy, overkill, kill-tacular.
And that's the end of the video. Thank you for viewing. I hope this helped out anyone who is interested in buying the XIM4 for Halo or any other Xbox game. Feel free to like, and thanks again. Later.